starting with the ultimate family-blending failure of a father, Shou Tucker. Shou Tucker from the anime and manga series Fullmetal Alchemist is one of the most despicable and gut-wrenching betrayers in all of fiction. He starts as a seemingly harmless, struggling researcher in the world of Amestris, where alchemy is both science and magic. Desperate to keep his government certification and funding, Tucker turns to forbidden human transmutation, fusing living beings into chimeras that can speak and think. Years earlier, when his wife grew suspicious of his work and threatened to leave, he used her as his first subject, merging her with an animal in a horrific procedure that left her a tormented hybrid begging for death before she wasted away. But the real heartbreak comes when young alchemists, Edward and Alphonse Elric, visit his home, bonding with his adorable daughter Nina and her playful dog Alexander. Tucker, facing another evaluation deadline, sees no other way out. In a night of unimaginable cruelty, he alchemically fuses Nina and Alexander into a single pitiful chimera, a grotesque talking creature that recognizes Ed and calls him Big Brother in a child's voice. The brothers discover the abomination too late. Their trust in Tucker and in humanity's forever broken as he callously justifies it as a scientific breakthrough. Scar, the vengeful anti-alchemist, later executes Tucker for his sins, but the damage to the Elric souls lingers forever. Moving on to the second deadbeat dad in our list, the alien patriarch who swaps bedtime stories for brutal beatdowns and world domination, Omni-man from the animated series Invincible, unleashes one of the most brutal and family-shattering betrayals in superhero fiction. He arrives on the planet as Nolan Grayson, posing as a heroic Viltrumite refugee, marrying Debbie and fathering Mark, who later becomes invincible, all while building a facade of the ultimate dad and protector. For years, he saves the world alongside teams like the Guardians of the Globe, mentoring Mark as his powers emerge, teaching him about responsibility and heroism in heartfelt moments that make you root for their bond. But the mask cracks when Mark fully awakens his abilities. Omni-man summons the Guardians to a meeting, then savagely murders them all in a bloodbath, crushing skulls, ripping limbs, and leaving their headquarters a slaughterhouse. To eliminate any resistance to his true mission, he confesses to Mark that Viltrumites are conquerors, not saviors. Earth must submit or be destroyed, and Mark's role is to help enslave it. In a vicious father-son brawl, Omni-man pummels Mark nearly to death, calling him a pet and discarding his human side, before fleeing the planet in a moment of rare doubt. The betrayal guts Mark and Debbie, turning their idol into a monster overnight. And in the end, Omni-man himself feels betrayed when he returns to the Viltrum Empire and confronts the reality that there are countless ruthless conquerors just like him, amplifying his internal conflict. And now, if you're enjoying this content, smash that like button and subscribe for more videos just like this one. Moving on to the backstabbing duo who turned Titan-sized trust into a wall-smashing nightmare of deception. Reiner and Bertholdt Hoover from the anime and manga series Attack on Titan deliver one of the most shattering betrayals ever, turning comrades into enemies in a single gut-wrenching confession that redefines the entire story. They start as unassuming recruits in the 104th Training Corps, bonding with Eren Yeager and the others through grueling drills and shared dreams of fighting the Titans. Those mindless giants devouring humanity behind massive walls, Reiner, the reliable big brother type, and Bertholdt, the quiet giant, earn everyone's loyalty, surviving horrors like the fall of Trost District, where Titans breach the walls again, slaughtering innocents left and right. But the truth explodes during a tense standoff on the walls. Reiner cracks under guilt and pressure, casually admitting he's the armored Titan, and Bertholdt is the colossal Titan, the very monsters who kicked off the apocalypse 5 years earlier by smashing Wall Maria, leading to the deaths of thousands, including Eren's mother, right in front of him as a child. Their mission? Warriors from Marley sent to infiltrate and retrieve the founding Titan, posing as refugees while secretly orchestrating massacres. The reveal hits like a thunderclap. Reiner's split personality and Bertholdt's stoic remorse add heartbreaking depth, but it doesn't erase the oceans of blood on their hands. Moving on to the two-faced captain who orchestrated a betrayal so slick, it left Soul Society questioning their own sanity. Sousuke Aizen, from the anime and manga series Bleach, pulls off one of, if not the most calculated betrayal in shonen history. A mastermind who plays the long game to ascend beyond gods, leaving his allies in ruins. He starts as the gentle, scholarly captain of Squad 5 in Soul Society, the afterlife realm where Shinigami protect the balance of souls, beloved by his lieutenant Momo Hinamori and respected by all. Aizen hides his true ambitions behind a facade of wisdom and kindness, secretly experimenting with the Hogyoku, a forbidden orb that merges souls to grant ultimate power. For over a century, he manipulates events from the shadows, orchestrating Rukia Kuchiki's execution to draw out the Hogyoku hidden inside her, faking his own gruesome death to frame others, and using his Zanpakuto's hypnosis to deceive everyone into seeing illusions. The bombshell drops when he reveals himself alive during the execution chaos, stabbing Hinamori in the chest without a flicker of remorse, confessing he's been pulling strings all along to evolve into a transcendent being. He extracts the Hogyoku from Rukia, defects to Hueco Mundo with traitors Jin and Tozen, and declares war on Soul Society, turning heroes like Ichigo Kurosaki's world upside down. His betrayal isn't just a stab in the back. It's a meticulously planned demolition of trust, loyalty, and the entire spiritual order. Next up is the stoic shinobi who wiped out his own bloodline in a night of shadows and secrets. But hold on, this betrayal isn't what it seems, and you'll soon understand why. Itachi Uchiha from the anime and manga series Naruto delivers one of the most tragic and double-edged betrayals in fiction. A prodigy shinobi who slaughters his own family to avert a greater catastrophe, leaving his brother scarred and the world deceived. Born into the prestigious Uchiha clan in the Hidden Leaf Village, Itachi awakens his Sharingan early and rises as a genius Anbu operative, loyal to the village, but torn by the clan's growing resentment toward the leadership after being marginalized following the Nine Tails attack. The Uchiha plot a coup d'etat, unaware that village elders like Danzo Shimura see them as a threat and order their extermination. At just 13, Itachi is coerced into the mission, with the Masked Man, later revealed as Obito, as his accomplice. He systematically massacres the entire clan in one blood-soaked night, burning eyes with Amaterasu and even killing his own parents, who accept their fate for peace. He spares only his little brother Sasuke, deliberately traumatizing him by forcing illusions of the slaughter via Tsukuyomi, planting seeds of hatred to make him strong enough for revenge. Itachi defects as a rogue ninja, joining the Akatsuki to spy from within, all while bearing the village's scorn as a traitor. The truth that he sacrificed everything for Konoha's stability emerges years later, reframing his betrayal as a heartbreaking act of love and duty. And last but not least, Koro Sensei's betrayal. Koro Sensei from the anime and manga series Assassination Classroom suffers one of the most poignant and fate-altering betrayals. A once unstoppable human assassin undone by the very pupil he mentored. In his human days, he was the legendary Reaper, the world's deadliest hitman, emotionless and invincible, taking contracts that left rivers of blood. Seeking to pass on his legacy, he rescues a street kid and trains him as an apprentice, teaching him every trick of the trade, from stealth kills to psychological warfare, forging what seems like an unbreakable bond of master and disciple in the shadows of the underworld. But ambition poisons everything. The apprentice, craving the title of Reaper for himself, secretly sells out his master to mad scientist Kotaro Yanagisawa, who captures the original Reaper for brutal antimatter experiments designed to create an indestructible weapon. Strapped to a table, the betrayed assassin endures agonizing infusions that warp his body into a tentacled super being capable of Mach 20 speeds, all while the apprentice claims his mantle and vanishes into infamy as the new god of death. This treachery not only robs Koro Sensei of his humanity, but forces him into a vow of teaching Class 3E misfit students tasked with assassinating him before he destroys Earth, turning his pain into a year of bizarre, heartfelt mentorship. The full reveal hits the class like a gut punch, humanizing their target as a victim of ultimate disloyalty. And that's a wrap on these soul-crushing betrayals that hit harder than a plot twist from hell. I know some of you are probably screaming, "Where's Griffith?" Well, I covered his eclipse-level treachery in my last video on every type of evil in fiction. If you haven't seen it yet, check it out right here. Peace.